Okay, so I'm going to try to explain why timelines exist using a painting app in under 3 minutes. Probably won't do it, but let's get started. So basically, I'm going to start with an axis. So have two axes. So we have a y-axis and an x-axis. So basically the same thing you'd use for an exponential function graph in school, right? Like, x equals y times 2, that kind of thing, where you have a little, hold on a second, where's my tool at? You have a little line that goes whoosh like that, okay? Now, imagine, when I use the term frame of time, imagine any moment in the universe. And when I say the universe, I just mean the entirety of our three-dimensional space, okay? Take a snapshot of any moment in time, and the entirety of the universe in that frozen moment of time. That is a frame. That is a time frame, right? Now, I'm going to put a dot right here. Now that dot represents one time frame. That is an entire universe frozen in time, right? An entire three-dimensional space and all of its physical elements and objects frozen in time. Now, there is an infinite array of these. Every single possible iteration of physical arrangements exists simultaneously overlapping, in the same way that every single possible iteration of numbers exists on this graph, right? Now, when these line up with each other, they form a timeline, in the same way that when variables on here line up, they form a function graph, right? So what you are observing inside one of these timelines is the apparent motion of what is actually a stagnant thing. So basically all these frames of this continuum of infinite frames lines up to form a coherent chain of causation, and you as a conscious observer within that retain awareness of a previous frame and the one in anticipation of the frames that will come after it. However, people generally only think of it in terms of forward lineation. So they only think of it in terms of they think of time as a ray, not as a line, right? But it's a line, not a ray. So you're only going this way, going forward, but it also goes backwards. So the appearance of forward motion in time is only created by the fact that you are on one side of the center of the timeline. But once you go back, once you're going this way, what you start to experience is the exact same thing but mirrored, and the perception of time mirrors with it. So on this side, people feel like they're going forward as well, and on this side, people feel like they're going forward, when in reality neither is moving at all. The movement is only perceived by the internal physical conscious beings that are experiencing it. But every single point in time has always been there and will always be there and will never cease to exist or begin existing. Every single frame of time, this one, all of them, the entire infinite spectrum exists simultaneously and always has and always will. And it's their alignment that causes timelines.